So I wanted to talk to you guys today about butterflies. Now you're probably wondering, what the heck is Darren talking about butterflies? Well, the life of the butterfly, the development of the butterfly, as I should say, is really quite spectacular, and it really applies to your career, almost exactly applies to your career. So what's happening with the caterpillar at the very beginning is the caterpillar forms the chrysalis, right? That's like the little cocoon thing that the butterfly forms. Now what's happening inside the chrysalis actually begins inside the caterpillar during its last stage. And so there's these hormonal changes that are taking place inside the fifth instar caterpillar. Okay, so the fifth instar, that's the final stage of the caterpillar just prior to the caterpillar building the chrysalis. So during this period, the caterpillar, it loses all interest in feeding. It starts wandering around, and then it spins this little silk pad. Okay, and this little silk pad is spun on the underside of a leaf or on the underside of a plant, and then the caterpillar turns around, it grabs that silk pad with its hind legs, which have little hooks in them, and once these hooks are in that silk pad, the caterpillar drops down and it begins to change its form. Okay, this is called the metamorphosis. And what's happening at this stage is literally a biological miracle, that's going on inside the caterpillar. I mean, the enzymes are being released that digest all the caterpillar tissue, so that the caterpillar is being converted into a totally different medium. It actually dissolves the caterpillar into this kind of gooey liquid. So the old cellular structure of the caterpillar is literally dead. Right? But inside the caterpillar, there's several sets of these little cells called imaginal discs. Okay, now these are little groups of embryonic cells, and as soon as the metamorphosis gets going, the larva has turned into a chrysalis. And at this point, these little cells start growing like crazy. Okay, so one imaginal disc will become a wing. So there are at least 4 of these particular imaginal discs because there's 4 wings in the butterfly. Okay, and now there's imaginal discs that form the legs, the antenna, and all the organs of the adult butterfly. And so inside that chrysalis, during the first 3 to 4 days, is literally a bag of this rich fluid that these cells are growing on. Okay, and that fluid is essentially all the dissolved old caterpillar tissue. And so that's kind of where the transformation of the metamorphosis begins. Now, the interesting thing here is nothing like this happens in vertebrates, okay, ever. It's a phenomenon of insects, and it's truly miraculous in terms of the biological process of this transformation. Now, the final stage of the metamorphosis is called imago, and the plural in Latin is imaginese. Okay, so these little groups of cells that start developing, very early, are developing very early in the caterpillar's life, before they go into this chrysalis stage. So they have them from the very beginning, but they stall. The development stalls. And so these cells are just there waiting. Okay? They don't start growing until the very last stage of that caterpillar before they turn into a chrysalis. Okay? Now when they start growing, they grow incredibly fast, very rapidly, differentiating into these different tissues. So that literally the entire internal contents of the caterpillar, the muscles, the entire digestive system, even the heart, and even the nervous system, is totally rebuilt. And then it hatches and turns into this beautiful butterfly, and the butterfly flies. Now you're probably asking yourself, why the hell is Darren talking about the development of a caterpillar into a butterfly? What does this biology crap have to do with my career development in sales? Well, it has everything to do. The reason I say that is that what many of you guys don't realize is that you have the seed of greatness inside of you already, just like the caterpillar had those imaginal cells in there from the very beginning. Okay? I mean, you were born with these seeds of greatness. Not everybody is born with this seed. I don't believe. Now, this is my opinion. You can argue with me if you want. I don't believe everyone's born with that seed of greatness inside as it pertains to being an entrepreneur. That's why most people don't have the guts to do what you guys are doing, right? Just the fact that you have this desire inside of you to buck the system, not go down the conventional path of being a W-2 employee on a base salary, the fact that you're out there on your own, trying to make this thing happen as an entrepreneur. That tells you that you were born with this inside of you from the very beginning. Now, if you compare that to this whole story I just told you about these caterpillars turning into butterflies, if you notice, the entire cellular makeup of the caterpillar dissolves into nothing. Okay, and then the new imaginal cells transform into the beautiful butterfly. So what's the point? The point is, when you take on this new career path you guys are on right now, sometimes you got to let your old self die so that you can birth your new self, the self that you're always meant to be. And one of the challenges that I think people have when they start their entrepreneurial endeavors is that they're afraid to give up their old self. They cling on to their old self for too long. And why do they do that? Because their stupid friends and family are criticizing them and trying to talk them out of going for it. And so you listen to these people. You listen to the negative people in the office. You listen to all the negative news on TV and the newspaper. You listen to all that nonsense. You hear everyone talking about the doom and gloom of the economy. And we forget that you were born with the seed of greatness inside of you. What you have to understand is that that seed of greatness takes time to develop. Just like the caterpillar was born with these imaginal discs inside, but they don't start developing until the 5th stage of that caterpillar's life. Okay, so when you first start out your career, all you guys, you want to be the beautiful butterfly, right? But when you start out, you're the ugly caterpillar. Okay, you're the little worm. You've got to embrace that. You got to celebrate that. You get on this conference call and you listen to me talking about how my agency is doing almost $40 million in sales. You hear about a brand new agency I started doing life insurance and financial planning less than 6 months ago, and I already got 38 agents on my team. You hear that stuff, and sometimes it can get kind of depressing, right? You say, oh, how come I can't be at that stage? Well, because you're in the early stages of your career. I mean, I got 9 years into this thing, and I'm really good at it. I mean, I've developed a system to build agencies. Okay, this is the system that I'm trying to teach you guys. But you got to understand that if you've been beating yourself up for not being a multimillionaire yet, okay, you got to get over yourself and forgive yourself a little bit because you just haven't been taught the system yet. This is the beginning of you learning how to build your agency the right way, how to build it the systematic way, the way I've built mine, the way I've developed mine. Okay, so don't begrudge the fact that you might be an ugly caterpillar right now. Your business might look like an ugly caterpillar. In order to become that butterfly, one, it's going to take some time for those imaginal discs to develop into wings, and two, you've got to do all the little fundamental things that you've got to do, all the non-glamorous things, which is cold calling. I mean, I'll be honest, no one wants to cold call. But let me tell you something, if you don't do this, there's no way you're going to book appointments, and there's no way you're going to jumpstart your career. And if you want to build an army of agents, you want to build a team, the only way you can build a team is if you can look at your guys in the eyes and said, this is what I did, do this. You see, if you never did those fundamental things, there's no way you're going to have any credibility in trying to get other people to do something that you've never successfully done. Okay, that's a key to being a great leader, is you got to lead by example. Okay, but always remember, you've got those imaginal cells in you from the very beginning. Okay? You just got to give them enough time to mature, and like anything else in your life, you got to put in the work. Now, when I look at a brand new agent, here's what I see. Right, the rest of the world, your so-called friends, your family, maybe even your parents, maybe even your teachers and your professors in college. Maybe even, I hate to say it, but maybe even your managers, right? They see you for your present, and they judge you on your past. When I look at brand new guys coming in to work for me, I don't judge them for their past. I don't look at where they are at presently. Right? I look at them for their possibilities. And so my biggest advice I can give you is that when you look at yourself and you look at your business, don't judge your business for what you've done in the past. Don't judge your business for where it is today, right? Judge and evaluate your business for the possibilities in front of you. And I'm telling you, you use this script, you hit it hard, you book a ton of appointments, That's the beginning stages of your imaginal disc developing into wings so you can fly one day. Okay, so don't begrudge the stage of small beginnings. Okay, be grateful for the opportunities. You got a huge opportunity right now with the economy in recession. I mean, all these things are coming together at this moment right now so that you can really build that foundation to take off. Okay? There's huge opportunities right now. Don't listen to broke people. Don't listen to unsuccessful people. Listen to a guy that built a $37 million agency in less than 7 years. I think I know a little bit more about your future success in this industry than some idiot out there that never made a dime in this industry. For those of you that have never been to my website, it's DarrenSugiyama.com. If you haven't read either of my two books, one of my books is called How I Built a $37 million agency in Less Than 7 Years, which is kind of a how-to, step-by-step of how I did it. And then my most recent book is called Living Outside the Cubicle, The Ultimate Success Guide for the Aspiring Entrepreneur. And both of those books are available on my website, DarrenSugiyama.com. Okay, guys, have a great Friday. Hopefully we'll see you back in June on this call and make millions of dollars. It's a lot of fun. Talk to you guys soon.